Welcome to the Totally Honest Cooking Show. I'm Mark. Today we're making peanut soup. This recipe comes from West Africa, countries like Nigeria, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. But there are other countries that enjoy this as well. So we're starting with 2 chicken breasts, which we're going to poach. Jerkins, tell us about poaching. Do the thing. Okay, we're going to come over to the stove. We're going to put the heat on medium with a little olive oil. While that's going, throw a little salt on my chickie. Now, I'm only using one of these chicken breasts. The rest I'm going to save for a salad or something. Okay, I'm going to let this go for about 5 minutes. Give it another light dusting of salt on the other side. After 5 minutes, we're going to give our chicken a little flippy flip. Then we're going to go ahead and add in 3/4 a cup of chicken broth. You could also use water. It's fine. And put the lid on. The chicken is now cooking. You got about 7 to 10 minutes. While that's going, we're going to go ahead and prep our onions. We're going to finely chop 3 onions. One of the 2 recipes that I'm kind of splicing together for this said 2 large onions, so I'm using 3 lesser onions. Oops. Forgot my cross cut. Notice how even when you make a mistake, it's totally fine. I've never made peanut soup before. I heard some people talking about it at work on the last day of school as peanut butter soup. And I thought, that sounds interesting. That sounds like something I could consume. So we're making it. Next, we're going to peel and chop a sweet potato. So let's peel this sucker. Okay, go ahead and start by chopping it in half. We're gonna need a bigger knife. You call that a knife? This is a knife. It would have been really funny if I would have cut my finger off after all that. Now, I joked, but the easiest way to do this is going to be with a large knife. With a small knife, you can use the wobble method, but with a large knife, you can use the weight of the knife to do a lot of the work. The wobble method, hence the name, is just when you wobble the knife back and forth until it goes through whatever you're trying to cut. But I'm not doing that with this because I don't need to. Just be careful. Totally Honest Cooking Show is not responsible for missing limbs. Also, I did not cut that straight, but that will be okay. It's soup. Soup is hard to screw up. Okay, ideally everything stays mostly together and then you can just batch cut it. But if it doesn't, that's fine too. Just go straight down. Do that a couple times. And you turn it to the side. And you just kind of dice. Right? Right. You may have to go back and take out stragglers if you did a bad job. After 25 minutes, my chicken has finally hit 165 degrees. It is temped fine. It took longer because I got really big chicken breasts here. I'm going to go ahead and peel some ginger. We need about a tablespoon. And if it's your first time peeling ginger, use a spoon. Just the back of a spoon. It'll get in all these little crevices. Whoop. And around this time would be a good time to start your rice. Make some rice to your manufacturer's specifications. While this is called a soup, it's more like a stew or a curry. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mince the ginger. So make yourself some matchsticks. Okay, once you've cut the flats, you're going to go ahead and make little matchsticks. And then you're just going to go boop, boop. I'm also going to go ahead and mince 4 cloves of garlic in the same fashion. Okay, at long last, I got my soup pot over medium heat. Getting ready to drop in the onions, the garlic, and the ginger. The chicken's on standby, but I am going to take this broth and save it for our soup. We're going to use 6 cups of chicken broth in total once it's time. That's hot enough, it's popping. Throw in our ginger and our garlic. We're just giving everybody a good mix. Then we're going to give it 5 or 10 minutes. Speed will depend on how well we chopped it and how hot we cook it for. Twiddle it around occasionally. You know the drill by now. We want it translucent, but we don't want it to brown. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add 3 ounces of tomato paste. That's half a can of tomato paste. I got a 6-ounce can here. And we're just going to mix it in. Okay, then we add our sweet potatoes. And 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of cayenne. The cayenne is optional. I'm also going to take this opportunity to add a 14-ounce can of crushed tomatoes and my 6 cups of broth. I'm also going to add a 15.5-ounce can of chickpeas as I bring it to a boil. And for just a little bit more heat, I'm going to core and dice a jalapeno. If you really want heat, leave the core in. Once it's boiling, we're going to go ahead and put our cover on and drop it down to a simmer. And we're going to let it simmer for like 20 minutes. While that's going, we got a couple other things to take care of. First, we're going to shred our chicken. I'm going to use the 2 forks method, which is the most accessible method. I also have a pair of claws floating around here somewhere, but that's for pork mostly, pork shoulders. You could also take a bunch of these and throw them in a standing mixer and just mix them that way, and they'll shred. But 2 forks method, you just shred it like this, and it'll shred. Do that till it's done. The last thing that I'm prepping is some baby spinach, which I'm just gonna cut, throw in my salad spinner, and then add later. I'm also gonna mince some cilantro, but that's for presentation. You don't need it. So I'm taking about half of that. About a cup once you bunch it all up. And I'm gonna chop it a little bit. Then in a minute, I'm gonna throw it in. Okay, at this point, we were supposed to add 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. I don't have a full cup, so I'm adding some crunchy peanut butter. Usually I don't go off script like this the first time that I make something. But in my defense, I thought I had way more creamy peanut butter than I actually had. Different recipes will say different types of peanut butter. Some of them say use the natural peanut butter. I definitely don't have natural peanut butter. So first we're going to make sure that the sweet potatoes have cooked. And they have. So we're going to go ahead and add our peanut butter. Now, the upside to this mistake is that the serving instructions said that you can garnish with crushed peanuts. I don't think we need to do that now. I think it's already got plenty of crushed peanuts in it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and add our shredded chicken. This is most of one chicken breast. I did not use both breasts. And I left about a corner about yay. Mix that in there. Go ahead, add our spinach. Okay, let's go ahead and plate this up. Some crushed peanuts. Little rice. Big old ladle full of everything. Remember, we're treating it more like a stew or a curry than a soup. So save some of that broth for later. There was a lot of stuff in this one, but it's actually quite easy to make. I'm going to go enjoy this. I'm hungry. I did whoopsie doodle a little bit on the peanut butter selection, but I think this will be okay. I think it'll be great. Jerkins, let me know how it was right here. In the meantime, why don't you click on the like button, maybe subscribe if you haven't already, ding the little bell, and leave a comment down below so I know you're watching. Bye.